A recap in the form of a letter, tucked amid Plato's maps, addressed to WZ.
You were always telling me I had to get my head out of the sluice, and, though it's been a while, I've been inspired to discuss how wrong you were. It only took one night, trapped by a sandstorm in the smuggler's gin, a Luxorian inn of ill repute, to become entangled in a murderer's plot. The inn's only other occupants were the Turgi, a group of thieves disguising themselves as performers. After a bit of eavesdropping and mind-reading, I learned they had a captive, a cleric of the lover, and would have sought to save him if my identity hadn't been revealed by Sir Stalda. She was ingesting the drug, slip, in hopes of seeing visions of her lost love, the Oracle, Diana. Our plans were foiled before they began when, after that tryst, the dancer of the group revealed her true deadly nature to Sherrilyn, and we were forced into a desperate confrontation. In the fight, Inara got her first taste of blood, and quickly sought her second, killing the historian, Baddie No Shoes, despite my asking her to spare him. Some things stay the same, I fear. Trapped as we were, we had to confront the leader, the thief of divine items, this Loxodon Sherrilyn. He had an item of the warden's that did interest me. I was forced to confess my past ill-doings to satisfy him, but we escaped further violence. Even if it appears that we were tricked, he escaped with artifacts of the lover hidden in the Ankeg. I am happy to see the end of this whole mess as we set out again to disrupt this ritual at Netto's rally. I only wish I could have saved the cleric of the lover and learned more of Ren's artifact. Perhaps I can send Rourke after them. Regardless, I hope soon to see the storms again as we make our way back into the desert. It will be warm soon in Squallhopt.
The letter ends here, abruptly. Nara, as soon as you open the tavern door, you hear a resounding round of clinking and kind of like panicked movement as you see behind the bar one Mr. Mikkel Ord. Sitting at the bar is Leilani with a large glass of red wine that she definitely poured for herself. And she's kind of like facing the door and like sipping at it.
Serving yourselves, are you?
It's been a weird night. She kind of looks you over. There is the dancer, the tiefling woman. Her body. I saw it.
Inara will walk over to her sister and slide onto the stool next to her and nimbly take the glass out of her hand and take a really deep like chug and then look at her and be like, and what about it?
It's really good wine. And she kind of takes it back. Did you and your people do that, Inara?
We're in the desert, sister. The rules we grew up with don't really apply here. We had to do what was needed to survive.
Inara, the rules apply here if we enforce them. Do you not believe in justice? Do these people not deserve fair trial?
And who will hold this trial? She looks at her sister. Everything we know has been turned upside down. The High Vizier is gone. Our mother is missing. Our sister is lost in the desert. We're in, and she looks around her and be like, a smuggler's inn. Do you really plan to enforce your rose-colored vision of justice here?
I don't know if it is rose-colored. I think we have a moral responsibility, and I know this might sound hypocritical, but it's something I've been thinking about a lot. I think morality is what we make of it on an individual level. I just don't know if we had a right, and I'm not. If you had a right to execute her, I just think you are very capable. You could have put her to sleep. You could have. I've just seen you work magics as an alchemist, and it just seems so brutal what happened in there. I'm sorry. This is not fair.
Nara's spine arches and her hair seems to stand on the back of her neck when her sister says the word execute.
She immediately starts backing down.
And she looks away from her, looking down at the bar top. Look, I understand. What I did was not something I ever thought I'd have to do. But you weren't there. It was her or my friend. I had to make a choice in the moment. I didn't have time to stop and cook up a potion.
You stripped her and are wearing her dress.
That was our mother's.
I understand that. I want it still. I think it would look better on me. But yes, I just mean that there are a full set of circumstances here.
Inara looks up and gives her the dirtiest look, because, you just guilted the shit out of me, and it's about a fucking dress, and she grabs the wine out of her hand, and she's not giving it back this time. It's her glass now.
You feel like this is probably her second glass as you see an empty bottle. She's like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I just think that maybe we should try to be the best version of ourselves, especially if Mother's not in the picture. And our body looked sad, and it sat with me in a way I didn't like. I'm sorry for blowing up on you, Inara. I was not there. You were right. You're acting in all of our defense, and I should say I appreciate it. It's just, I'm not used to such death.
Sister, I love you for your idealism.
She's tearing up.
But I will do whatever it takes to make sure what's left of our family survives this journey.
She hugs you. Mikkel Ord, who was behind the bar this entire conversation, what's your passive perception?
It is 12.
Yeah, he has a bag on him, and he looks a little guilty as he kind of starts walking from behind the bar. His hands are up, and he's like, I'm sorry, we were just seeing what was here. We weren't sure what was happening outside. We were thinking of maybe making something. And as he does that, you hear clinking from his bag. Like glass jars hitting each other.
He glares at him and gets off the stool, walks very calmly over to him, and then reaches out to take the bag from his hand.
He high-fives you.
She flicks him on the forehead like, you idiot, and with the other hand pulls the bag out of his hand and looks inside. Please tell me it's not more drugs.
He tries to pull it out of your way. I need a sleight of hand check as he tries to just very quickly dodge with it.
Sleight of hand. 16 plus 2, 18.
Oh yeah, you grab it, you snatch it right out of his hands.
And yeah, she'll take a look inside the bag, hoping to God it isn't more slip.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's two jars of slip, very carefully wrapped up in delicate paper and sealed, like wrapped around and then tied with a piece of ribbon.
Inara's nostrils flare as she tries really hard not to lose her composure, but she very quickly tries to grab him by the ear, like you would like a child, and holding the bag in one hand and dragging him by the ear using the other, she's going to try and pull him towards the door outside. And
no, please, please, God,
you.
no, please, I will do anything, please,
She'll
do not tell Plato,
the door
please.
Open
No. He's dragging his feet, he's trying to make himself as heavy as possible. He just starts kind of kicking the ground. Leilani is losing herself with laughter watching this.
What is it?
No,
if
please,
you don't
God.
come deal with
Please,
your
God.
little charge,
Do you still have the
I swear
bag?
to God, he will be my third victim of the night. What?
Do you? Oh my God.
Very
No.
dark, Inara.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Perhaps things we better not yell in a public space.
You mean the public space where the proprietor just helped us hide a body to use as fertilizer for her garden?
The exact same, which you are reiterating quite loudly.
I'm so happy the sandstorm is still going on around us.
It is very much dying down. It's almost gone completely.
It's a 13 for intimidation.
Yeah, I think he's still gonna try and do this. Where do you have the bag in your other hand?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna try and grab it out of your hand and just fucking throw it directly at the wall as far as he can. As Plato responds. All right, are you gonna try and hold on tight?
Absolutely.
All right, give me let's say a strength check. He got a 9.
She got a 19, so.
Yep, no problem whatsoever. He tries to grab it out of your bag. Plato, you see as Inara opens the door, kind of almost on his knees being dragged by Inara, you see Mikkel trying to grab this bag out of her hand, like frenzied, just like pleading with her.
Sherrilyn turns to Plato as they see this scene happening. She casually says, I have some manacles.
I will not chain up Mikkel, or I just will not do it. What, were you never young?
Too much irony?
Not too much of this tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep. I walk past Sherrilyn towards the door to where Inara has Mikkel. I look at Mikkel and I say, I will unfortunately have to tell your mother and father about this.
He doesn't make eye contact with you. I wasn't taking any from me. I was just going to sell it, make some profit to fund my new life as a member.
All right, inside check on the Ord. 10 flat.
10 flat, yeah. I think with a 10, and looking at how carefully he wrapped it, he like double wrapped it in cellophane and tied a bow around it. You think he's being honest. You think he's committed to the idea of not going back to his life of wealth and privilege that he had, and doing something different with the Nimbus. He's getting the tattoo on his back. He genuinely, you see in his face the fear of somebody who had money and is now about to not have money, who's just trying to seed himself with something. Like, he definitely was not planning on taking this. He was just going to sell it for a profit.
I look over at Inara, sort of bidding her to let him to release the ear.
She drops the idiot.
And I'll help him to his feet and sort of brush him off, and I'll say, I admire this commitment that you seem to have to everything that crosses your path. But there is no need to worry. I will be sending you back to Weathercall Academy for a time. So you will be with your family. There's no need to do this yet. And even when there is, we do not steal from the operations, that are profitable. It's just not part of how this works.
But it's like double dipping.
Yes, but then we lose them as a customer. In the long run, it just doesn't work out, okay?
It's just 2 jars. I mean, think of how much... Okay, I'll put it back. I'm so sorry. Rourke said he was going to train me and take me on as an apprentice. You're saying... Rourke kind of like...
Rourke?
I'm sorry, I tattooed little testicle on his back. I had to make him feel better. I will finish that too. I will find another purpose for Rourke. I'm sure his services can be used for other important reasons. So don't you worry. You have more time yet to, figure out how it is you want to help us. Okay? I did not realize I was going to return home.
That is the hope.
Kind of nods, like thinking that over a little bit. Like, maybe that's not as exciting to him as the path that was kind of left out before. That might be the adventure that he's going on with you all.
We'll talk about it. How about that?
He nods. Yes, of course. I mean, not that I have a choice. Especially if my brother is going deeper into this country instead of returning home.
Yes, especially that. I mean, I hate to say it, but you may be the heir right now if we cannot find...
No, he is so much more capable. Do not worry. I am not worried about him even a little bit.
So, we'll take this, and I push the slip away. And if we need to sell it, we'll sell it, okay? And it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm going back to sleep. Leilani kind of holds up her wine glass. You all should as well. I would like to... The sandstorm seems to be dying. Should travel. Post-sandstorm is safe weathers.
After dropping Miguel Ord at Plato's feet, Inara does like a really sharp turn and stalks back to the bar where she takes out, I'm going to say like 3 gold coins and drops them on the counter for the wine and drinks and drugs that everyone seems to be like handling, and reaches over the bar and grabs herself a bottle.
What are you trying to grab a bottle of? The same red wine?
Yes.
Okay,
You
okay.
said it was
You no
yummy,
issues with that
so
one whatsoever. Okay.
yeah.
Nothing is labeled, but that one is very obvious. So you have no issues whatsoever grabbing that.
It also looks the safest considering all the effects that she was offering earlier. But as she does so, she's gonna turn her head to look at her sister and be like, "Your taste in boys sucks." As she continues to laugh, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she kind of giggles a little bit and gives you a knowing look. And then she's gonna kind of whisper under her breath, "Mother's taste." Like just like very clearly being like he was her assignment. Specifically the family of the Justicar, that was her assignment at the peace meet, was to charm this boy and learn as much as she could about his family. Like this is what the Gilded Rose assigned to her on the caravan after you sent her in post your meeting.
She reminds her of that. Inara will quickly glance over towards the doorway, I guess, in the direction of where Francis is.
You see him, his kind of, the door is kind of propped open a little bit, and you see him just for a second from the back as he seems to be taking in the sight. The beautiful nighttime stars kind of reflecting on him.
So yeah, she looks towards him and raises her eyebrows as she goes, "Guess I lucked out." Takes a bottle of wine and stomps upstairs. She's had a long night, even for her, and she's ready for bed.
And Francis, you feel a tug on the back of your leg as you're by the cart considering it. So you're a cleric of the lost, right?
Francis would feel the tug on his pants and look down. I was like, that is correct.
Well, we're all real lost over here. You remember me? I'm Chartreuse. You see, I'm Chartreuse because I have the red ribbon.
Yes, I do remember you.
Well, previously my name was Jimmy, and I was a little boy. One day, I asked the djinn for a wish, and she turned me into a meerkat. Isn't it your job as a cleric of the lost to help somebody like me, little Jimmy?
I'm gonna influence that as well.
Absolutely.
23.
A 23. I think in that moment, Anka pops up from behind, and you see her as she's like approaching the wagon. You have to stop this, okay? It's not funny the 4th time. It's not funny the 17th time. It will never be funny. You are a meerkat that I awakened, okay? You're all just meerkats that you had a shitty life, okay? You had a very bad life before I awakened you. Why do you do this to my guests? What joy is this for you? I am so sorry. They are a little drunk.
Francis will look at her and like kind of like give her like a small smile. Say, "Oh, it's if this is playful fun, I'm sure it's fine. I don't mind a little tongue in cheek here and there, even if it is a reoccurring thing. Apparently,
They take it way too far sometimes. One time, we had this air genasi who was saying, straight up, I came in the room, the full ritual going on. Like, the meerkats had him spreading bones and flowers all over the room. They were just making shit up, and he was falling for it. It is ridiculous how far they let that shit go. I'm sorry. Anyway, not important right now. Is the Loxodon dead?
no, they left the premise.
You could say the elephant has left the room.
Nice. Oh, they left their cart, though.
That's ours now.
Okay, I guess finders keepers is fair. That's totally fine. They paid me well. That is a-okay. Everyone doing okay? I'm happy to see. Any of your party dead? Anyone need burying? I have these plants. They feed on life, and they're still a little hungry.
He will stop her as like she's explained the plan. It's like, no, everyone is hale and hearty. Nothing physically wrong.
She looks a little impressed. Like maybe she didn't think that's the way that would go.
Someone does need burying, though.
Someone does need burying, yes. That's not in our party.
Room at the top of the stairs.
The tiefling one. Yes, okay, good. There's still a few more that need feeding.
Francis will kind of look at her like he understands the pragmatic side of it, but still like the body is still warm in his mind, and it's like already thinking of her as like food is kind of like off-putting to him, even if they were like a harm to the party. And he'll just look at her like, this is not something that is new to you, is it?
Feeding plants dead bodies? I mean, fertilizer is kind of like that. Oh, what do you mean?
Seeing the death, yeah.
Yeah, no, not at all new. No. I have been alive for a long time, and this country is filled with harshities, both human and monstrous.
Has the innkeeper struck you as the type of person that would keep a secret easily? No offense, madam.
Secrets, there no need for them. That is air stuff.
Yes, certainly. I imagine if you've been alive for so long, as well as in an area like this, in a profession like this,
I mean, I call my place smugglers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like. Yes, anyway, sorry.
you do kind of invite this kind of company.
You're trying to attract a certain clientele. But you're not from here, though? This is a thing you're adapted to? I mean, you're made of sand.
I've lived all over the place. I originally rose in Medea, though.
Oh,
You said Medea.
Yes, long, 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 long time ago.
that's so interesting. I was just hoping to learn more about Medea just this evening.
Now, how long precisely? She says, tight-lipped.
What? What is it, Sherrilyn? You're not excited to see your countrymen here?
I'm a bit surprised, Mr. Ardavian.
I wouldn't consider myself a countryman of Medea. I much more associate myself with Luxoria nowadays. But yes, I originally rose from the stones there. Magic washed shore, and like a pebble I came together, and the spirits bound me. And I found myself alive, majestic, renewed. The land is beautiful, pretty, filled with all sorts of wonders. But the culture, it is not nearly alive as Luxoria.
Her description of her awakening, of her birth, sounds very reminiscent of the vision that she experienced in the Temple of the Lost. And she'd be thinking about that as she described this. And I think that she would agree with the latter statement. It has become a bit monotonous, a scripted society. I cannot tell whether I am proud of that or not at this juncture. I bear little national pride in this current moment.
I miss the wine.
I do as well. Is that why the wine you have here tastes so similar?
I tried to grow the grapes. I control the environment, try to mimic as close as possible, but I still can't get that taste.
She sets down the ropes that she's been working so diligently on, grunting as she stands straight. She covered in bruises and welts and scratches. Could I see them?
Yes, sure.
She steps over the ropes to Enka and will follow her.
There are so many things inside of this garden that can and will kill you, so please follow exactly in my footsteps.
I will do so.
What's everyone else doing?
Plato takes this moment to turn back. Or he's been in the doorway, sort of. That's how he's, I think, been talking to Enka. Had walked over there to see Mikkel, and sort of looks back at Mikkel and says, "I think it is time that we go to bed." Yes.
Yes, make better decisions in the morning.
Is everyone else? Is Lilania still here?
Yeah, but she's definitely heading to bed as soon as she's done with her glass of wine.
Gotcha. If no one is looking, I might try and pocket one of those jars of slip. Is there a way I can hang around?
I mean, you're just holding the bag that has two of them.
Yeah, but I don't want people to know that I have it. Is more the point.
I don't think anyone will be near you then, because Francis is still going to be lingering around the cart.
And Sherrilyn's with the gin. Yeah, so I think like as Mikkel and Leilani, as they go upstairs, I linger for a moment and just try to drop it into one of my pockets. Just one jar. It is not... It's...
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I need to go for a roll here. I think you can easily do that.
Yes, I will just add it to my inventory, and then I will also go upstairs, for I am magically exhausted and would like to sleep.
Sounds good. Go ahead and begin your long rest.
Yeah, as Sherrilyn is kind of like walking away with the innkeep, Francis is going to kind of step into the car and like take a look around himself, and then he's also going to take out his journal and start writing stuff in it.
Again, the cart itself is just absolutely packed full of secret compartments. A lot of them still open after Inara went through them and got to the deeper point that contained this marigold paint. But they're all still open. You just see at least 30 different small compartments. Every single like leg of furniture here has a false bottom as you see them all go through. Like, it's just a completely tricked out cart.
Would there be anything that really denotes where this cart was made?
Huh. Yeah, there would be. Go ahead and give me a nature check. At advantage.
13. At advantage. 18.
Definitely, without a doubt, the black markets of Hon Hop. This is a custom-made job. Looking through the wood, the wood definitely is sourced from the jungle. It is sacred wood. It's almost like sacrilegious that this incredibly sturdy wood is there. It would be, just looking it over, incredibly expensive to have this made. It is a large, very, very sturdy cart. It looks like it could withstand almost any environment. and it is very, very nicely refined. It was definitely an expensive piece, and it was definitely made within Holha.
Yeah, as kind of like Francis sits down and looks around, like feels the kind of like the grain on the wood, and looking at all like the secret compartments, he kind of like muttered himself, "You're a long way from Kuana, aren't you?"
And I would say within 18, the Loxodon, Dashal Red, claimed to be a thief who stole divine objects, right? He didn't have that many on him. This is an expensive cart. You would guess he has some sort of buyer too, right? And with this cart information, you would guess it's probably where he's going back to, Honha, to return whatever stolen artifact.
And just for clarification, he seems to have definitely gotten away with something else, right?
Yeah, he hid something in his end keg, because clearly all the compartments are open and they carved out part of the end keg to put stuff in. So won't be hard to spot an end keg in the jungle.
And Laura, what are you up to?
Well, she took her bottle of wine and stomped upstairs, so she'd probably head back to the room that we had originally like rented out, and yeah, get ready for bed.
Perfect. All right, Sherrilyn, as you enter the line of the herb garden, there's this tons of fencing, and Enka just kind of breezes her hand as the wall kind of opens itself up to her. Almost immediately as she hits the line of the herb garden, she starts humming this deep and low timbery kind of melody, keeping the plants at bay. As you see kind of vines around you kind of begin to wriggle, and she gets a little bit louder as you see them kind of grow steady as she kind of leads you towards the herb garden, through the herb garden.
Should I be shying away from them? Are they attracted to the blood that was recently spilled, to be frank?
Yes.
All right, then. I trust I am in exceedingly capable hands.
Exceedingly. She kind of like holds her hands up and shows you them, kind of like does a little slow jazz hands showing you the back and front.
Just to be safe, I think I will hold up my shield close to my body, though.
It's a good idea. As she continues leading you through the garden, you see towards the back, there's this little shrine set up. There's a lot of care. The rest of the plants are kind of open air. Obviously, the tarp above keeps them safe from the elements, and you can see different setups in different ground soils kind of throughout this space, as it seems like each 5x5 square is set up completely different to grow these different cultures. In the back, there's this large kind of chapelin structure, and as she opens it up, it is just vines and vines of grapes. And there's a large bucket for mashing and stomping within here as well. They're very well protected. I have tried many different things to get the taste right. Now I keep them just inside so I can control every element: the water, sunlight, everything. But still,
Sherrilyn's eyes are shining. She is gazing around in wonderment at so many grapes everywhere, and they're a familiar sight for her. They look very similar to
this looks like a Medean vineyard. Like she captured like the design and look of it, as well as she was hoping that would help the grape flavor, is the aesthetic. But it looks very much like a piece of home.
She takes one step in front of her and then pauses using her better judgment. And she says, "May I?" Holding up a hand to the vine.
She nods, hesitant to respond in voice because it looks like some of the plants have encroached closer to you, and she picks up her hum to kind of get them further apart. She nods to you to confirm that you may.
She plucks one singular grape, a plump, round grape, off of the vine, turns it between her fingers as she admires it before popping it into her mouth, taking slow chews, feeling the juice of the grape fill her mouth.
It's delicious. Sour.
Her face contorts. It is very flavorful. I think you're on to something.
I'm trying many different things. It just doesn't have the same magic of the wine I drank there. Maybe it's nostalgia. Who knows?
Well, perhaps with this structure that you have put together, then it will shield them from the overly hot weather. Perhaps it is irrigation. I am no expert. There were farms on my land, but I was not the farmer. She swats away a vine as it gets a little too close.
As she stopped humming to contemplate, and sorry. Thank you. I appreciate this. I will try running the water underground instead of overground.
If I might ask, and perhaps you should keep your response brief so that the vines do not overtake me. Why did you leave Medea?
Huh. I didn't feel like it was. I Stability for me has long been a comfort, and it is something I tried to move away from. I became complacent in my ways, and in the larger picture, my ways were not right. I wanted to live a life that I chose for myself, and the people that I grew with in Medea were not able to enable that for me. So I sought others, and I found them. But I live a long, long life, and them not so much. So now I seek new adventurers. I am a hearth mother. I establish location. I breed community. This is where I find my joy now. And Medea, the community is set. It is practiced. It does not need growing. It is stable. I seek the opposite.
There's a vine trying to curl around her arm that she shakes.
It is fully cut into your leg. It's like almost dragging you under the brush now as she finishes her sentence.
Madam,
Maybe we get out of here.
Yes.
Follow in my footsteps, please.
As she shakes the vine off of her leg as it loosens to the sound of her song, she begins to follow Enka out of this place. And she would say, I have never met one of your kind in my country. Never seen one in my country or out up until very recently.
I think the source that created people like me in Medea got bored too. Spread out. That's my feeling anyway. I feel the inspiration of my creator. I rose to be beautiful, I feel. To be majestic, that is my purpose. And the spirit of wandering, to feel all the earth beneath my body. I feel the same in my creator.
She wouldn't really be able to put into words exactly what she's feeling, but I think somewhere in her heart of hearts, she's feeling a stirring uh, at these words, at this description of how she would like to live her life. She turns to the side, and amidst this beautiful and deadly garden that Enka has created, she sees these small yellow flowers. She wouldn't know what they are. I imagine it's like marigolds, right? She says, might I take one other souvenir from your garden for a friend whom I owe a great debt?
Yes, but there are some yellow musk creepers over there as well. She follows your line sight. They're just waiting to creep up on you. Maybe I pick it? Is that what you want? A flower?
The most beautiful one.
Of the marigolds?
Yes.
This can be done. It will take me a bit to find the most beautiful one. Please, stand out of the garden. She starts, going hard inspecting these individual petals and...
I shall step out, she says quickly as the vines begin to rapidly encroach upon her. She is essentially sprinting out of this garden to just outside of it.
Yeah, she gives you a beautiful, after a while of picking through, a beautiful flower. And she also gives you another flower for you to give to whoever you think deserves it, and for me to give to whoever I think deserves it. As she hands over the second flower, it is a large red rose that kind of burns like an intense fire.
What do you call it?
It is a red ruby chromatic rose. Hold it by its stem. Fire will not hurt you as much. It will not feel as hot. While you hold the rose, it gains a harmless visual effect. The visual effect is that the rose appears wreathed in fire as you take it into your hand. While holding the rose by its stem, you gain resistance to fire damage. As an action, you can blow the petals from the rose to produce a 20-foot cone of fire. Using that property will destroy the rose.
It's dragon's breath. She takes both of these flowers together in between her fingers, and she turns them on their stems, saying, I will treasure them. Thank you, Enka.
Please come back. And if I may ask one more favor, are you all continuing to head south?
She takes a steep breath and glances towards the entrance exit of this structure, and she says, "Well, I'm not quite sure at this moment. I believe there's another discussion to be had, given recent events."
Ed. Well, if you do, there is a distillery. They make a smoky liqueur using the agave plants that they grow. I haven't been able to imitate their flavor either. I would like another shipment. If you could just tell them Inca would like another shipment. I sent a bird. I awakened the bird, vulture, and I told him this, but I honestly feel a little guilty. There's no way he made it through that sandstorm. I really thought he had enough time, but there's just no way.
Yeah, she mentions vultures and she thinks about their rest in the oasis and the vultures that were sitting on the cliffside nearby. They're not very graceful looking creatures. She didn't really have high expectations of these weird, bald, feathered creatures. And then she thinks of the owl.
There's a chance it made it through. Who knows? There's a chance it just like fucked off. But yeah, if you could, Inca would like another shipment.
Yes, Enka, I if I come upon it, then I will mention your name.
I sent to the crew once, Tony and them, but it took them literally 2 months. It's not that far. Not that far. I think they fucked around. All right, have a good night. Sleep well. It was great exchanging culture with you.
Yes, it was pleasant to meet someone from my country who shares my personal thoughts.
I think you'd find that yearning is in the soul of much more Medeans than you'd expect.
I'll bear that in mind.
At least, I like to hope so. As she kind of turns, there's work to be done. As she's going to return to her herb garden.
Yes, as she turns around, she says, and I will no longer be needing another of those drinks, the purple ones. Just unnecessary.
She doesn't even turn around or say anything. She just continues walking. Sherrilyn, you feel a little tugging at your leg.
Slowly turns around and looks all the way down, such that her chin is basically touching her chest. Yes?
Hey, it's me, Tony.
Hello? Creature
Hey.
named Tony.
So you're from Medea too?
Yes, I am from Medea. You are from Medea?
No, I'm from Wait. Ah, fuck. Oh, god damn it. I messed up, guys. I fucked it up. Oh, no. Alright, well, you have a good night.
She just watches him fuck up the delivery and scamper off with a smile on her face, shaking her head.
He leaves you to take a long rest. Are you all returning to the same room? There's plenty of cots in the room.
I think it was boys and girls, if I remember. Not to cut us down the gender lines, but I think that was it. It was Francis, Mikkel, me.
We are going to be respectful of the gender lines.
I hate those. Get those out of here.
What are those?
Alright, so we've got Plato, Francis, and Mikkel in one room, Inara, Sherrilyn, and Leilani in another.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, any further conversation to be had before everybody falls asleep for the night?
Hongshu?
Uncomfortable grunting as she goes to lay down, trying not to wake the two sleeping tabaxi, one of which at least is probably cradling a bottle to her chest.
Bingo.
Also imagine, like, I don't know how heavy a light of a sleeper Plato or Mikhail are going to be, but Francis will probably enter the room like an hour or two after, like, everyone's gone back or not.
Plato is a very light sleeper, especially because currently I'm assuming there's no thunderstorms, so he's suffering from his rain-sick sort of insomnia. I think I'll just sit up and look over at Francis when he comes in, and I say, "Is everything all right?"
Oh yes. Just late night thinking. I'm sure everyone's had a lot in mind, so needed some time away and kind of gather my thoughts, so to speak.
I admire your solidity in these times. Something I have not been able to establish for myself. I think it is just that I am far from home,
You and me both, but at least for us, we can take comfort in the fact that up until this point, we have proven ourselves a dependable little group.
Yeah, I look over at where Mikkel is asleep, and then back at Francis, and I say, I would have liked to deliver her back to her mother without her having killed someone.
Francis kind of will look between Miguel and Plato and kind of like sigh as well, rolling his neck like death is inevitability and ushering it onto someone well before it seemingly the time is not something I wish anyone has to do. But at the end of the day, we do what we must to protect those around us. And if that means ending the life of someone else in order to protect another, then I cannot see fault in that.
Plato sort of smiles at this, looking over at Francis, and says, "You are a very good priest. Good night."
Francis is kind of like take that comment, like look at Plato like that's a weird thing to comment on at this moment, but he'll kind of like smile and then walk over to his bed and enter his long rest.
With that, and as we all slip into our long rest, with this newfound, sense of connection and community in this place, created and raised by Hearth Mother, Anka the Majestic, as you all sleep in and take in these experiences, we're gonna go to level 4.
Whoa!
Yippee!
It's time to get crunchy, perverts. No, I just think it's
Yeah, dice perverts. This is for you. You like this shit. You hear that? Let's all try to roll our hit die at the exact same time so that it syncs in the track. Let's do it.
all right. Roll with me, Inara. 5.
7.
That's good shit.
I also got a 7 plus 1. So
I got-
Whoa,
I got
we're
a-
so healthy.
I got a 7+1 as well.
Was
Seven,
that
seven,
3
seven.
sevens?
Yeah.
Lucky level.
Oh wow. Okay. This is some tanky folks. Anyone get anything at level 4? Is
So I got the ASI, which I put into Wisdom. So now I'm
Makes sense.
18 with a +4 proficiency, as well as 2 new spells. So I'm going to Shield of Faith, as well as I'm probably going to take. I'm also going to take Silence.
pretty good spell.
all I got was an ASI for my level up, so I put 2 points into charisma. So now I have a +3.
Charisma.
Your exposure to the outside world is making you more charismatic, teaching you how to communicate with new people.
I hardly think I needed that to justify the charisma bump, but sure.
Inara, you get anything?
Also ASI, and I think I'm going to put them both into strength because so far I am not at all strong.
Interesting. You don't. What's your aim right now?
+3, so it's 17.
What's your strength at?
Now it's at 10. It was at -1.
Okay, yeah. So get yourself out of the negative with that first ASI.
Makes sense to me. She has a habit of jumping onto her enemies and her friends.
Looks like we're going to be getting into a lot of fights. I have to roll for my experimental elixir every morning.
Hell yeah.
Just trying to remember. I think it was a D6.
Every morning we wake up and you're brewing coffee, but it's a weird elixir.
As you get shook with a new idea.
I'm drinking the coffee with one hand, brewing with the other, trying really hard not to get confused and take a sip of the elixir. Okay, D6. So that's a 2. It is an elixir of swiftness. The drinker's walking speed will increase by 10 feet for 1 hour.
That's pretty good.
Would be better if we weren't about to get into a carriage.
Yeah. I mean, it lasts until it's drinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can hold on to it.
What I got for my level up, just the ability score increase. I added by splitting it between Dex and Charisma. I've actually upped both those modifiers.
Anyone else have any new spells or anything? I know, Plato, when you level up, you have the opportunity to switch out a spell if you'd like.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe invisibility wasn't super helpful to us. I might swap that out for something and take Tasha's Mind Whip and then a different utility spell. I could also take Misty Step since it would be nice for me to be able to get in and out of places.
I think all good options.
No new spells for the paladin until 5th level, unfortunately.
Out of curiosity, Inara, as you make this potion that you feel you figured out how to do it, what are some of the ingredients that you used to create this that led to this quickness?
I want to say she found some of Rourke's discarded feathers outside and gathered them without him realizing, and was trying
Inspiration.
to. I think she had a bunch of them, and so she was trying to grind them down to dust and see what she can make out of them.
Just absolutely fucking amazing. And I just have to know, when Inara finishes this completion, holds this in her hand, knowing that it'll increase the speed of someone, is there someone in the party she has in mind for it, or is this something that she can't wait to try herself?
I think she's actually thinking it might actually help Sherrilyn, so she's usually running ahead into danger, and it might help her deal with another foreign creature / animal.
I haven't the slightest what you were talking about, but if I did, I would not be running from the bear.
Well, no, bear. There are also panthers, tigers, faster creatures that you might decide to fight and need to be faster than, or as fast as, to survive.
Again, fighting in the meta section, but totally fine. Love it. So you all are, as Francis, you pick your spells, just thinking about the day ahead of you. I think, well, I mean, that's, I think, a conversation to be had in the morning. There is the opportunity to return to Dayalakin and return the stolen artifacts. But of course, the pressing matter of the Tri ritual is still actively in movement as the three different groups of kidnapped royals head for their individual blood seals across this great continent of Boromina. I think there is a conversation to be had amongst the party about next steps and travel forward. Raquel and Leilani sleep in a little bit.
Sherrilyn wakes up slower than usual. She's still covered in welts from their last encounter. Being kicked in the stomach and the ribs and the punched in the head will do that to a person. So she takes some extra time at the wash basin, mending herself a little bit, wrapping some cloth around parts that are particularly sore before she puts her clothes on and her armor. Each fastening makes her do a little, it hurts. But she'll try to leave as quietly as she can so as not to wake anyone that might wake after her from drinking all night, I'm assuming, and go straight to the carriage so that she can do her usual responsibilities with animals with which she is familiar.
As you make your way out of the room and kind of down the stairs, you do see Anka kind of opening the bar. There's also a new individual who is sitting at one of the tables. They look at a glance like kind of a series of black webbing, like a individual wearing black cloth that like sort of looks like netting or weaving, like very tight knit weaving from head to toe. And they are currently at a table, kind of looking down at a bowl filled with this kind of like gold looking liquid. And Enka seems to be kind of eyeing their back as she sets up her bar this early morning.
Sherrilyn's hand trails along the bar as she approaches Anka, taking a seat on one of the stools. She leans towards Anka on her elbow as it's propped up. She says, I take the arrival of the new individual to imply that the sandstorm has completely cleared.
Yes, it is safe for travel. She kind of like gets like right up against your ear. What the fuck do you think that guy is? I can't figure it out. I've been staring at him now for 5 minutes. I cannot figure it out. He just ordered nectar.
The two of them in unison turn their heads towards this person. There's no one else here, correct?
There's
in
no
this
one else
room.
here, yeah.
It would be very obvious that they're looking at this person.
It's just their back. But as you kind of look, like their entire body seems to be kind of like a bean bag with loose beans. Like their upper portion and middle portion and bottom portion are kind of moving out of sync with each other and kind of like writhing underneath this like black cloth.
I'm not sure. Shall we discover? And then she swivels towards this person on the stool and calls out, You there! What banner of creature are you?
The black cloth turns around to face you. Looks exactly the same as the back. There's no perceptible difference between the back and front of this creature as it turns around. I am a trader under the merchant trader of the divine.
Which divine?
The merchant.
I see. Well, there you have it, Enka.
Is there an echo in here?
Is the echo deriving from his voice,
Yes.
or is it sort of like in the head.
It is coming from him. It sounds like there's even the louder voice at the front sounds like maybe multiple overlapping voices, and then there's a couple of voices right after.
You are quite strange, in a very unique sort of way, not as an insult.
I have wares. I have wares.
Upon your person?
Is that strange? Is that strange? Is that strange?
It is a bit strange, yes.
No. In a cart.
She turns back to Enka. And they came alone.
Yes, they had a cart, but I didn't see any pack animal or anything.
Turns back to the individual. What sort of goods have you brought with you?
Potions, magic items, potions. Mostly potions.
He's brought potions, Enka.
You hear, roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that's a 5. 3 plus 2.
Okay. Yeah, pick it. Yeah.
Enka is quite talented at making her own concoctions, has she told you?
I haven't talked to it. No. Inka says.
And it just got here. This person, you.
Anything is fine. About an hour ago. Where are your friends? I'd say everyone else at this point is waking up too.
When Plato wakes up, he does his stretches. He stretches the arm that is water. Otherwise, he will be very stiff. It is very sore in the morning, so he has to work it out so that he can use it throughout the day. But after that, he will head downstairs and see this creature. Do I recognize whatever this is? No?
I nod. I shook my head no, because it is just a kind of a bundle of black cloths with
Just a bundle of black cloths. All right.
It's sitting upright. It's kind of thin, but yeah, it's like butt, hips, and upper torso all seem to be like moving on different tracks, kind of like wriggling in place. As Sherrilyn and Eska are currently engaged in conversation with it as you walk down the stairs, and so does Francis and Inara. Are you all waking up?
Yeah, Francis will walk down shortly after Plato.
Yeah, Inara's following right behind them on the staircase.
Good. Everyone, yes. This is our new friend, a merchant of the merchant.
Oh, well met.
Strange creature consumes nectar.
The in arms starts to raise a little bit, like to try and wave, and then kind of like falls limp a little bit. It is good to meet you.
Oh, goodness.
Are you quite well?
Yes.
We have been in conversation for a while now. This appears to just be how they speak normally.
Well, many strange individuals you meet in the desert. You have normal wares on you, magical things, potions, tinctures. Unfortunately, I think I am a bit bereft of money at this point. With that, Plato looks over to Inara, who keeps putting down gems and getting stuff for us. So I'll just step aside and maybe get some breakfast. I sit down at the bar and say, but maybe one of my other party members would be interested.
She smiles at you and goes, if there's something you're interested in, just say the word.
Sugar mama.
I was not going to be the one to say it. No, I'm fine, thank you. I would like maybe, do you have, please, Eska, do tell me, I ran out of my own supply. Do you have espresso beans amongst your wonderful garden, Perian coffee beans?
Roll me a luck check.
Cast for the coffee.
Using the heavy dice for this. Natural 20.
Oh,
great.
In abundance. It is a personal favorite of mine, but unfortunately I cannot get guests to try it. The smell, the taste, it is bracing for people unfamiliar.
Yes, quite strong.
I can give you quite a few to go on the house.
Oh, that would be excellent. If you could prepare for me a pour over, or maybe, I don't know if you have a Perian press, but that would be excellent.
She starts working with some stone. I think I've seen one before. I can probably make one. You can take it with you if you want.
I will.
Inara is fascinated by this, not having heard of a Perian press before, so she's like perching herself as high as she can on the stool as she watches closely what Enka does so that she could potentially replicate it on their journey.
Yeah, and she made a pretty smashy one. It's like a big rock smashing into the beans. Like it is
My
just
beans.
rocks, right? So it's just like a big
Really pulverizing my beans.
and it just like smashes them down. And then yeah, she just magically creates some hot water. That kind of boils over it as she's going to go pick some other beans, but but it's it for a bit, of course.
You are a lifesaver, majestic one.
So, merchant creature, show us these items that you have on your person.
Everyone's standing kind of near the bar. You hear the sounds of some potions clinking onto the table, kind of coming out of the abdomen of this creature as they kind of move forward. A good 4 potions are out, and then kind of some goggles fall off the table to the side of the chair, as well as a ridiculous looking hat and a very simple looking wand. And then finally, a bundle of cloth kind of comes tumbling out. That seems to have been holding most of it. These are my wares.
You consumed them and then spit them out through your stomach?
You hear like very quietly, a couple like, we should have went to the cart.
Could you tell me what these things are? She says, picking up this ridiculous hat by the brim.
Yeah, I am going to go out of voice for this, but it does echo each one. But the hat is a hat of disguise. You can cast disguise self at will. But in its base form, it looks absolutely ridiculous. It's like a square fascinator, but like way bigger, and then kind of like curves down on the sides for a triangular effect. It like almost looks like a triangle pointing down at you, and it's like a hot pink.
She turns over her shoulder with this hat in both hands and says, Enka, now this would be a clever toy for your meerkats to use.
They don't need any more cleverness. She's like looking around for them. Like, God, I hope they did not hear that.
Could have fooled me with the last one's delivery.
Wait a second. Did those meerkats talk to you? I specifically asked them. They are truly troublemakers.
They did, but they blundered it. So no confusion.
Which one blundered it?
Oh gosh, if I remember whichever one it was too busy muttering to itself and walking away in embarrassment.
What's this now? What did the meerkats do?
Or trying to pull a fast one over us, but no worries, no harm done.
If they come to you in Inara and they say that they were humans that were turned into meerkats, I would say do not believe them.
I mean, if they want to transform, I'm sure I could whip up an elixir and see what happens.
No, they're very happy as meerkats. Please, no. They're very valued workers.
And speaking of elixirs, Inara, are you familiar with these that this being has brought?
She turns away from watching the Perian press in action and leans in closer to study the potions. Does she recognize anything?
Yeah, there's a few potions of healing here. There's some potions of climbing, which are a must-have for some folks who traverse certain terrains. There's also some rarer potions here that you identify because they're high value, especially in the capital. Like these are the ones that sell, which are there's a potion of invisibility and a potion of love.
No, I don't like to fuck with that. She'll point out each of them, telling the party what it is and what it does. And when she reaches the potion of love, and she's like, I highly recommend not messing with this one.
There have been many mentionings of love within the last day.
Does that bother you?
Even I know better not to mess with people's emotions using a potion.
What was that, Mr. Ardavian? Does it bother me?
That people keep mentioning love. Don't worry, I'm drinking my coffee now. Sorry.
Only slightly.
Well, we could use a couple healing potions, right? Because I think accidentally some or all of them may have been used by me. On Francis, I was very worried and I just used the other one that we had.
And what does this merchant of merchant value the potions at? Say, the healing?
You hear a couple numbers kind of at once. You hear 15 gold pieces, 20 gold pieces, and like 23 and 25. After a second or two, it lands 20 gold pieces, 20 gold pieces, 20 gold pieces.
Inara leans forward and pointing to the lot of it, and she'll be like, what about if we were to take the healing potions and the climbing potions?
50 gold pieces for all 5.
She pulls out the 50 gold and hands them over.
Where do you put it?
On the bar in front of it?
Yeah, it's sitting at its own table, kind of a few feet away from the bar. You just put it on the table?
Yeah, so she'll walk over and put them all down in front of the creature.
It seems to be nodding, but like the whole head is bobbing forth.
Fascinating, she says as she drops them down and then gathers the potions. How many climbing potions were there?
There were 2 potions of climbing and 3 potions of healing.
So she'll give each of her party mates one of the healing potions, and then she'll give Sherrilyn and Francis each a climbing potion.
And then roll me a DC 10 in check real quick.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say you recognize other items here as well. The goggles that fell to the ground and are still there are goggles of night. They allow you to see in the dark. And then the robe there is a robe of useful items. You can see the patches on it. You've seen them before. They sell well to travelers because they're very, very light, and you can peel the patches off and it creates things in need. So it's a great way to carry a lot of stuff across the desert. So they're usually pretty highly valued.
Is Leilani down yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. She'll eye the robe for her sister, knowing that she's been eyeing the robe that Inara's wearing. She's like, maybe she can get that for her. It's a consolation prize. She'll point to it and ask the merchant, how much for the robe?
At once, in unison, you hear a reinforced voice that says 50 gold pieces. Like that whatever this is agrees that costs 50.
She'll mull it over for a minute, but definitely doesn't have any interest in the goggles because she has dark vision. She will tell the party what they are.
And what about the wand? She says bending to pick the stick up off the floor.
It could be a lot of things, Inara. I think at glance you don't know what it is.
Inara gives a small shrug and be like, that could be anything, really.
She gestures at it towards this creature. What is this stick?
You think it shrugs? It's definitely moving the upper part of its torso like in that motion.
You are selling an item, and you do not even know what the item is.
Its head bobs back and forth dramatically.
Ooh, fun.
And how much do you sell an item for which you do not know what it is? Does an item have value if you do not have a name on it?
It doesn't respond right away.
Wonderful coffee. It's so nice that she's arguing with someone else all of a sudden.
Perhaps you accidentally acquired this while acquiring your other items.
Surprise, it's just a stick.
Maybe it's just a great stick. Maybe this creature is a dog.
It's a dog from Spirited Away.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 10, 15, 15, 15, 5, 5, 5, 5 gold pieces, 5 gold pieces, 5 gold pieces.
Yeah, okay. She'll put 5 gold coins down on this table. I'm intrigued. I think I will hold on to this twig.
I do hope that your curiosity does not get the better of you and all of us.
Since when has that ever happened whilst we have been in company?
Are you kidding me?
Fortunately for you, sir, I feel like all of us can collectively have more than 10 occasions for that.
Yes, I am kidding. Finish your coffee, Mr. Ardavian.
Very well. Don't need to tell me twice. But be careful when aligning your psyche with powerful magic items. Sometimes there is risk, even with those that look mundane.
Francis would also look at the goggles, and assuming Inara would have told him what it is, he would look at Plato and be like, I feel like this would be better than you holding on to my robe whenever it gets dark out.
Yes, they would probably be quite useful. Unfortunately, well, let's see. I have very little in the way of liquid assets right now.
Inara will pull out her pouch of gems and taking out a sizable opal, she will hold it out to the creature, which is reminding her so much of a hive for some reason, and be like, would you accept a trade? The opal for the robes and goggles.
Add 15, 10, 15, 10, 12, 15. 15 gold pieces. And deal.
Fair enough.
15 gold pieces and the opal.
Dramatically waves his head.
Come now, I'm sure you could bring your price down a little bit. After all, it is to help the safety of someone traveling through the desert.
Less for you to travel with.
Plus, we've already taken so much from you.
Roll me a persuasion check at advantage, Inara, with Plato's help and Sherrilyn's help.
18 on the first try, 3 on the second. So let's go with 18. Persuasion is... Okay, so that'll be 18 plus 1, so 19.
7 more gold pieces. 7, 8, 9, 10, 7. 7 more gold pieces.
And I will look over at Plato and be like, I can contribute the opal?
All right, I think I can cover the rest of that at the very least.
Think of it as being able to see onto your next adventure.
I don't know how they will fit over my glasses, but I'm sure I will figure something out here.
Pick them up off the ground.
Inara will pick up the robes as well and hold on to them for when her sister wakes up.
Sounds good. Let's do this right now.
Oh boy.
This is the kind of stuff I listen to D&D podcasts for.
Rolling on tables?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna start this off. I am going to roll one of them, and then I'm going to roll. It's gonna have 4 additional patches in addition to 2 of each of these. So it has 2 daggers, 2 bullseye lanterns, 2 steel mirrors, 2 10-foot poles, and 100 feet of hempen rope, as well as 2 large sacks. And then I need you to roll me 4 D100s.
Okay.
As you take this robe in your hand.
44 for the first one.
There's also a patch of a long 20-foot wooden ladder.
Okay. 51 on the second.
Holy fuck, that's so funny.
Did you get dogs?
You're not sure what the patch does exactly, but there is a patch on there of a horse.
No.
Not again.
With a beautiful mane.
That's my girl.
You cannot escape it.
36 for the third.
That's right, another wooden ladder. Another 24-foot long tall wooden ladder. Now what's behind that final door?
62.
There's a patch that shows 4 potions of healing.
Cool.
And that's what you got.
Good things to have. Now, just be mindful, this is a gift to her sister. So.
Damn. Well, maybe we should pull one of those ladders off and strap it to one of us before we go.
I'm about to say just pick a few off of it. Like, you don't need this.
Perhaps looking at the ladder, the patches of the ladder on the robe, Plato will say, "Well, I know your sister wanted a robe, but we could probably use those ladders if we are planning on." I look over at Sherrilyn. Are going into Perian, heading around to Netta's rally. Was that our plan?
Well, I was going to say something very clever about gifting her sister a robe with a bunch of holes in it, but Mr. Ardavian does have a point. We might find the ladders very useful.
We also have the climbing potions, but I'm sure that Lonnie will prove useful. She is coming along with us. It's not like she's going to withhold her aid if needed.
So, I guess that makes sense. It's not as if we can leave them here. It will be more difficult.
Not her, at least, she says. Looks pointedly at Plato.
I can't leave Mikhail either unless I wanted to send him somewhere with Rourke, which seems like a high liability.
And I cannot leave the horses, so...
The horses going up the mountain's a whole nother thing. I mean, we've come down to a point where we can cross here using some of the runoff from the border mountains, but it's still not going to be sort of like a horse-friendly passage, I would imagine.
Yes, actually, I think that is an excellent segue into playing more of your game, Mr. Ardavian.
Right. The information game. What else was it that you wanted to know about me?
She takes a dramatic seat next to you, leaning a bit closely to you, just to be a bit foreboding. That is a good question. What should I wish to know about a man who drowns other men in bathtubs?
What? You're saying this out loud, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Inara missed this whole conversation, so she's looking between the two of you, be like, What did I miss?
Do not worry, it gets better.
Sherrilyn, didn't you learn literally any lesson about what happened yesterday?
There's no one here except that merchant of merchants.
And the innkeeper, literally everyone in the building, pretty much, besides the 2 people we brought.
I think we've developed a relationship of trust with Enka, don't you think, Enka?
I have not, and it is my information you're going around with.
How deep was the bathtub? You gotta really get someone down there.
Okay.
That must have been very personal.
Unfortunately, Sherrilyn, we will not be playing another round of the game.
Well, I was scant on details for your sake, but I did not agree to keep that a secret.
Plato turns away from her. Let me know when we've decided on a path.
Sure. Netter's rally. That is my vote.
Sounds excellent.
Rourke comes back in. He opens the door. He had been outside. He is absolutely drenched in sweat. He's just like sweat city. His shirt is off, and he walks in exhausted. As he looks towards the merchant, okay, the camels are attached to the cart. You didn't tell me you had no structures. I had to build structure in your cart to hold the rope handles. That was a lot. It was a lot of work. I think we should double the fee. And the bobbing thing just kind of looks towards the table. I can have this is my goal, and the bobbing thing kind of just continues bobbing its head as Rourke just begins picking up the gold off the table. Sorry to interrupt. I sold my camels to this fine thing. An early morning for me. I could not sleep in. Good morning, everybody. It's very tense in here, huh?
Yes, Rourke, actually, I wanted to ask, since you have finished your delivery, was there somewhere you were returning back to?
I haven't made a choice on that yet. Is there need of me?
Phil, is someone coming by for the rest of the payment to them, or are you expected somewhere?
It was prepaid.
Good work if you can get it. Well, we were headed into Perian, I believe, toward Netta's rally.
Well, we were in the middle of a vote, I believe.
Oh, well, of course, I'm interested in returning to Sherrilyn. My apartment is there. Would be good to check in on the town.
After that, I was thinking perhaps you could take a journey to Hunhop for me.
That is actually where I was planning on heading. There's some stages there I'd like to see. I'm a big fan of what they're doing there, yeah, art-wise. Yes. What do you need there?
Well, I would like to have someone follow after this lead on Darshel Wren so that we can pick it up whenever we find him again. He mentioned to me when we were speaking that he was Honhopian. He will not find refuge in Perian now, and I doubt he will be in Luxoria. There is no Theta scene as far as I know in Medea, so Honhop will be the place he goes. If you can head there and find any information for me, I can open a line of credit for you with the Ardavian family. That should be able to supply your way.
This sounds fun. Yeah, I'm all in.
I would also perhaps ask if you would be interested in taking Mikhail, but that is something that we will decide on.
He kind of laughs. That I need more convincing. He winks. Maybe along the ride.
Yes, myself as well. We will see how it goes. Anyway, a vote, was it?
We have not heard from Sir Thon or Lady Inara about where they would prefer to go.
Personally, for myself, the path we take does not necessarily matter to me so long as it furthers our goal towards finding out where all those hostages have been taken and getting closer to dismantling whatever plot is going on. So I agree going to Nose Valley might be the better option for now, rather than aimlessly going through the desert in hopes of finding someone.
I feel Francis is right in this point. Trying to navigate the desert with the storms as well could end up wasting more time than we have. A lot of people are relying on us.
Then we take the cart as far as we may to the mountains, and then we'll figure things out from there. But we should leave as quickly as possible.
I agree. There are several wide passes, I believe, down this far, but anything wide enough to allow for a cart to pass through would also be harboring, well, let's say, rather unpleasant wildlife affected by the ether.
Come again?
Inara knows a bit of this. The next thing we will have to do is travel overland through some of the rivers and canyons that bring us near or around the Rinse. As such, the area and its wildlife, it may be mutated. He sort of glances down at his arm, like just flickers at it. Different and quite dangerous. I'm just bringing it up as Inara has been such a wonderful guide to us in the desert. It feels like I should pick up the mantle as we head towards my country.
I do know that the closer we get, and she looks at Sir Astalder and be like, remember the Ankeg encounter we had?
Quite.
So think of those on crack. And she tries to bring forth the image of these giant worms. I've never encountered one, but I have heard of creatures that can be found closer to the crags that make the ankegs look like ants.
Sherrilyn pales a bit at both of your description of the creatures and their rents. How dangerous is it exactly for travelers to pass through these grounds?
Well, it is just the mountain range. It is where most escaped slaves crossed, so it is the safest of the places in the border mountain. Well, some crossed further north, I suppose.
Safest is in, like, being bitten by a snake that isn't that venomous. Work holds up a big bag of money. This is how much I was paid to cross it myself.
Goodness.
And how many other people choose to take this path afoot?
Let's just say that if your entire existence and freedom were not at risk, you would not choose this path.
Yes, unfortunately, I must confirm that to be the case.
I'm sure, looking directly at Sherrilyn, I'm sure you'd like to stop by the observatory as well, correct? I'm assuming that's where you came from?
So what?
The observatory?
Yes, the High Elf Observatory?
Rourke, before you bring things up, maybe we should, I don't know, run them by someone.
I appreciate that Rourke is being so candid with me. If you wouldn't mind explaining what this observatory is.
I don't really know. They're pretty private.
Go ahead. Nope, I'm interested too now. Go, Rourke.
And along the mountainside, on one of the cracked cliffs, there are many citizens of, they look like you, High Elves, Medea. They set up this big building with big spyglass, like this. He holds up his spyglass, but massive, very, very big. It's pointed towards the sky. I asked one time, they said it's called an observatory.
Has Inara heard of this?
Yeah, I think definitely plans were approved that would have went by the council for sure of building this, funded by Medean refugees that have like formed a settlement within Luxoria, specifically to study. They were granted funding to pursue the pursuit of astronomy and further the knowledge of Luxoria in that realm, knowing the stars and the moons as well as they could.
So Inara will turn to Charlotte and be like, it is a construct for some of your countrymen that Luxoria had assisted in funding and building.
My countrymen.
Now that sounds like a place where we can keep playing our game.
Inara looks between the two of you and she's got one eyebrow cocked and she's trying to she can't figure out if you guys are just being purely antagonistic or if this is moving into like flirting territory, because to her everything is flirting. And she goes, sure, yeah, you can play whatever games you want.
It's the observatory. It is parallel to the pillar, the beacon.
Observatory, the pillar. Listen, this pass. She is interested. You can tell she's interested in these landmarks, but she's more interested in something else that she has not mentioned to the party. The cliffs that we must pass through. The blue stone crystal. Is this the place?
Much of Perian is comprised of this sort of stone. Passing into it, cliffside, blue-shot marble.
I could not say what it is. I merely could describe it.
You are still searching, yes?
Yes.
Well, this person you are looking for, the one who wore the oracle robes, are they a high elf such as yourself?
It's a bit more nuanced than that, Mr. Ardavian.
Still, this sounds promising. A place for your people, your countrymen. Isn't it possible that she is headed there?
Could be possible.
Inara jumps in and pipes up and goes, well, if she was being led by a dragonborn like you previously saw, I feel like that would be the most likely place for him to lead her to someone of her people.
Perhaps. Either way, we must make for the mountains with haste.
The climbing potions, the ladders, if your sister can spare them, some rope. We can do this. Let's go. Rourke, will you ride with us for a time?
Yes. I just crossed this path myself not long ago. I did the path north. I only came from that direction because I drove right past this inn quite a few times. It's hard to tell if you cannot find the proper landmarks. But yes, I'm quite familiar. It is treacherous, of course.
If you come with us to Netta's rally, I can outfit you with what you would need to make a trip to Honhop.
Yes. He offers to shake your hand, and then he as he's shaking your hand or goes to shake your hand, he turns to Inara.
I shake with the water one.
If you would not mind, I would like to stop by Manar Italia Kin. I have a question to ask.
Inara's eyes widen and she goes, "We must, please."
But we need to stop by somewhere and ask it questions.
I forget, you didn't travel far into Luxoria on your runs, did you?
Only once or twice.
During the Luxoria half, I got to see more of the marvels.
It's a beautiful place, truly spiritual, connected to the history and life force of the desert. And she gestures to him to take over.
And it's huge. It's a huge fucking pillar. It extends into the sky. And if you ask it a question honestly, it will tell you the absolute truth. The nomads, they travel to it to resolve inner disputes. I would like to stop, ask it a quick question.
Of course, if it is along the way, it seems like a marvel as much as this observatory we have heard of. Might as well learn as we go.
This is the second creature in the past couple of days that has mentioned seeking truth. Has anyone thought about that?
I think very little else drives you this far out into the desert. It's either you have a purpose or you're looking for the truth.
The desert, the forest.
I would also venture to say that that is what we are in search for as we try to unravel the situation we find ourselves in.
Wait, Sherrilyn, do you mean that crazy turtle lady?
I am indeed speaking of that wrinkly old
She was
turtle.
doing a whole different thing. Okay, those people are obsessed with the matters of the eloquent. Okay, cannot be dissuaded. This is a more tangential thing, I think. This abstract looking for truth.
Rourke is not of the eloquent.
I do not believe so.
No. 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 He kind of keeps laughing to himself, thinking about that, and then laughing again. I mostly deal in drugs.
Yes, Roadrunner's not very charismatic. That makes much sense to me.
Beep beep.
Well, perhaps drugs can lead people to truth in other ways, but not, I think, the way that turtle woman thought. So let us get on the road before the day is too hot.
We're leaving?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say goodbye to Enka and the meerkats, who are all quite nice.
She has a bag for you, loaded with coffee beans, like a small pouch.
Thank you.
And she kind of stuffs it inside of this rock Perian press.
Lady Inara, before we depart, if I could have a moment.
Of course. And she follows you aside, I'm guessing?
Yeah. No, it's in plain view. They'll move to the side, but it's still in plain view. She wants there to be an audience.
Damn, what's about to happen?
Francis, I think they're going to do it again.
You don't say.
Why do you have to say it like that?
When did we do it the first time?
Yeah, what was it?
Not it, but the thing that you do. You know the thing.
The it.
There are several occasions with several things.
The kissing and bodies of water are near them.
Many it's.
And the mounting and the up the skirts.
You said mounting. That was not me.
And I'm supposed to be the bad one.
Bending over, that was in a lot of... Anyway.
So it seems like you do know what it is I'm talking about.
But that it.
Plato can take inspiration.
Plato, are you so traumatized from what you heard last night?
I'm not traumatized by it. It's just that,
What he heard last night?
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Yeah, and Inara looks at Sherrilyn excitedly. Oh, you don't know. Yes, we sent Plato. Well, we didn't send him. She stops for a second.
He was concerned about your safety.
Yes, he was very concerned for you, and no matter how much I tried to assuage his fears, he insisted on. She puts up her fingers to make quotation marks, checking on you.
Oh,
and unfortunately heard some things that may have disturbed his sensitivities.
Was not disturbed, and I am not sensitive about this exactly.
Yes, we did learn about his extensive, shall we say, experiences in this field.
Francis, I don't like how you and Inara seem to have colluded to make me the butt of this joke. I don't like that at all.
Look, I know you and Sherrilyn have this weird thing going on where you guys are very secretive and almost putting out a bread trail so you guys can have conversation. Me, on the other hand, I prefer that everything comes to light.
Me too, she says and claps her hands.
So he was worried about me.
He was worried about you, and he also let us know that he is very much a man of the world.
Well, I appreciate you checking on my whereabouts. What does that mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
A man of the world one who has many experiences in the adult aspects of relationships.
I was just look, to be honest with you, I was just trying to clarify that I was not a virgin. I don't know why it was important to me in the moment. It seems totally ridiculous now. But
Good morning,
like...
Plato. Mikkel walks out of the door with Leilani.
Good morning, Mikkel.
Oh, good, excellent. As I was saying, Lady Inara.
Yes.
If we could have a moment.
Yes, of course.
So they step to the side, near enough to the cart where it's like in plain view, and they could hear everything still, but just moving aside for privacy reasons. And Sherrilyn will drop down onto one knee in front of Inara, and she will hold up this beautiful yellow flower that Enka had given her. She would say, "Lady Inara, I wanted to thank you for your valiant rescue of myself, day last. For you, a flower as beautiful and radiant as my rescuer. I hope you'll do me the honor of accepting it."
She looks so happy. She absolutely reaches out and takes the flower and then bends over and gives you a kiss on the cheek. I promise I will treasure it always.
I would have it no other way.
And she immediately tucks it into her hair behind one of her ears.
She stands up straight and walks back to the cart with a grin on her face.
Inara will follow and intentionally make eye contact with Plato.
What?
Wiggle her eyebrows at him. Nothing. She's just forever going to tease you when it comes to things like this. So you just expect it.
No, that is lovely. I'm glad you are courting one another.
I wouldn't say that. We're just friendly, but I can be friendly with lots of people at the same time.
Wait, aren't you two going to be married?
Who is?
He points to Francis and Anar.
That was something arranged on our behalf, not really between us necessarily.
Does that mean you don't have to do it?
I think that means it's on hold until we potentially rescue the people who put it into motion.
Or perhaps never at all.
Interesting. What, you don't think they would make a fine couple, Sir Astaldo?
I just see little in common.
I'm sure there's more there than we've uncovered so far, but only time will tell.
Besides, we've seen on this adventure that even Perians and Medanes can get along.
Precisely what are you trying to convince me of?
I'm not convincing you of anything, simply putting out there what is known.
Which is?
That we've had a lot of unforeseen developments in this past 3 days.
Witches? There's witches?
Witches?
Witches? I heard witches.
I don't think anyone said witches, Rock.
Who said witches? What
I'm
mentioned?
sorry, I was half listening. I heard witches. Maybe it was witches?
I think it is which is.
Okay. Sometimes there's encampments of witches in the desert. I was worried that maybe there's a
How
spot
long
there.
have you been awake?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
That was not the question.
All right. So I'm going to ride on my horse alongside the cart.
Alright, yes. Who can pilot a cart?
I don't know about piloting, but I do volunteer to sit up front. I feel like compared to some of our other party members, and she looks pointedly at Plato, she's like, I think I can handle the heat and the sun better.
This is agreeable for me. I have never, if you may believe this, driven a cart before in my life. I've been on horses several times. That was before. He wiggles the arm. But a cart, never drove one.
And it is very likely he will evaporate.
Not evaporated so far.
While carts are not uncommon in Honhop, I do believe since they are Sir Astaldo's horses that she too should be in the front.
I mean, there's space for 4. You could join us.
Admittedly, I have never driven a carriage before, but I could attempt.
Imagine you're on one horse, but instead of having to do it with one, you have 4.
I'd like to ride a horse as well, behind Lork, Mikkel says. Leilani, right after. I'm going to sit in the back of the cart.
Before she climbs into the back of the cart, Inara will call to her sister, Leilani, I have something for you, and hold out the robes that she bought her while she was still upstairs.
It's beautiful. You will look so good in it. Now that you've chosen to give me Mother's dress and have bought yourself this beautiful replacement. Thank you so much for Mother's dress. It should go to the eldest.
Inara laughs and goes, have you been in the slip again?
No.
And puts the robes in her hands.
I'm just joking, sister. I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And she'll help her sister into the back of the carriage and then walk to the front.
Before Francis actually gets into the car, he's gonna turn back towards the innkeep and be like, before we set off and head out back to this, I have a quick question that I couldn't help but overhear when you're talking to Sir Stalder about.
She's back inside. Do you go back inside?
Yeah, he would like linger before going back out.
She's putting together a pouch, and she looks up as you say this to her. Oh yeah, yes, cleric one. I didn't learn your names. I'm so sorry.
It's all well. We're about to be gone anyway.
Well, you'll come back, yes?
Should our paths cross again, I think the hospitality you showed us here was very nice.
Thank you. Then I should learn your name. What is your name?
Francis Thorn.
Well, thank you, Francis Fron. It is great to have you in my establishment. Now, what was your question?
I could not help but overhear that you have been on this world for centuries and hundreds of years, and especially familiar with Luxoria, correct?
It's a newer country, yes. I've watched it rise and become something truly special.
Do you happen to know of any influence that the House of Min might have had out here?
She kind of shudders a bit. I feel like an itching on my brain when you ask this. Let me think on it. Visit me again. Maybe I'll have an answer for you.
Even her non-answer is like an answer enough for him. The fact that it means something out all the way out in the desert, so he'll just like smile very softly at her and nod and be like, "Well, then, should our paths cross again, I will look forward to your answer. Thank you again for all that you have given us, and I hope that your inn here does well and not have to deal with any more dead bodies. Hopefully."
Well, I hope I need the bodies. It feeds the plants. They would wither and die. But yes, safe travels.
You'll just nod as he turns and exits.
Sounds good. So we have Nara's on the front.
Sherrilyn is on her own horse.
Francis would kind of just like volunteer to be up there with him.
I will also say, Inara, as you're in the front seat, you do, just with your passive here, find a lever under the front bench. Do you pull it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The, with like a motion, what you thought was like a solid wall behind you, folds itself and like opens into the wall so that the wagon itself is now completely open behind you. Like you could fall back into the group of folks behind you for a quick escape.
Nice.
If you pull the lever back, you think you could reset the mechanism with ease. As you are getting ready to leave, Inka kind of runs out the door. And Nara.
She looks up towards whoever's calling her.
Yeah, it's Inka the Majestic, and she kind of throws with like a lot of force a small bag that kind of loftily sails through the air in your direction.
Inara reaches out with both hands, and I think with her reflexes, she could potentially catch it easily.
Yeah, you definitely you catch it. It's pretty light considered how stuffed it is. You figure it must be like a ton of herbs or ingredients, just because of the weight and like kind of weights filling out the bag.
She calls out, "Thank you! What is it?"
I don't know. I just picked a ton of stuff at random.
She, her face brightens at that. It goes, "Thank you so much!" Making it so much better than if it was something known to her.
Please come back. She's like waving goodbye to you all. In this moment, the different meerkats kind of pop up behind her and they're all waving as well. They look hungover.
What did she say? Did she say a bag of random things?
Yes!
Did she give Inara a bag of random things?
She gave me my favorite stuff.
Francis, keep an eye on her.
Mysteries.
Francis is already just like eyeing the bag. Just like, yep, don't worry. I'll make sure she doesn't do anything that will harm us or her.
Inara gives you a blank stare. We'll see about that as she puts it into one of her inner pockets for later and pulls out the jar of paints from her bag of holding to cast Identify on.
Love that. I will also say, as you all kick off the horses in full motion, as you leave this spear of safety and return to the desert proper.
We should clarify before we go that we are certainly taking the fresh water with us if there's no one stopping us from taking the barrels of fresh water.
Hell yeah. As you all take off, The horses speed through this barrier. You all remember that you are inside of a dune, as you do have to just brace through the end of it for just a second as sand coats the folks on the outside, and the cart kind of hitting with bracing as it kind of spreads throughout and dissolutes into the wind. As you all return, it is unbelievably hotter outside the sphere. You forgot how hot the desert can get, and this is the hottest day yet.
Instant sweat.
Do we leave it trailing sand like we're a Mad Max Fury Road car?
100%. As you disrupt the illusion around the dune for just a moment or two.
A wake of sand.
Just like streaming off the back of our cot. We do still have to repaint it.
Yeah, at the mention of paint, and I'll be like, oh, right, and takes out the jar, and I cast Identify on it, trying to figure out if it was just regular paint.
Awesome. As you identify it comes to your knowledge. These are marvelous pigments. They're very, very rare, in the color of marigold. So the way this works, the paint flows from the brush to form a desired object in 2 dimensions that you want, and then it will become a real 3rd-dimensional object. You also can't change the color, so everything you paint will be marigold.
So not the most useful for painting the cart, but neat.
I'll definitely do something with it. I just don't know that it'll help us so much with the message or the image that we have on the carriage right now.
We might just have to sort of strip this down and repaint it with some paints that we can find.
So long as it doesn't really mess with the integrity of the cart, I do not think it is much harm.
Just nothing that includes snakes or worms would be preferable for the horses.
Fine. No snake worms. Oh, for the horses, yeah. I thought you were putting down the lines there, but yeah, no, the horses, that's important. Don't scare them.
Ooh, speaking of worms, we will be encountering, I mentioned before, giant creatures that slither in the sand dunes the closer we get.
Ugh, please don't speak of them.
I do not know much about them, as travel in that area was never an option for me. But even I know that we should avoid traveling on the sand dunes themselves and stick to the valleys in between. It's also preferable to not travel in a straight line for too long and instead adopt a more erratic pattern. She says, as she remembers that the last time we met a desert creature, when we had the Enkeg fights, you were all very miffed with her for not letting you know about them.
Thank you. That's good information, especially about terrible worms.
Of course, there will be more than just worms, but those are the worst that's out there for now.
Please, no more large insectoids.
Unfortunately, that is not a promise that we can make.
Yeah, knock on the cart. Oh, actually, Inara, do you know of any way to create a sort of magical spell or device that can play a continuous noise while you sleep? I miss so much the thunder of Perian at night.
That is an interesting idea. I'm sure I could come up with something.
Something for your mind to chew on and during our trip, at least. Ah, you're doing it right now. Excellent.
Yeah, she's already 1,000 miles away. Yeah.
You're making the thinking noises. I will go back into the back of the cart.
France is just looking at her very concerned as he can see the gears just turning in her mind.
Perhaps we should leave Lady Inara to focus on driving the carriage and not be distracted.
She almost loses the reins and then hears you and quickly pulls back on them.
Do not worry. I will be here to make sure that she does not lose both focus and or the reins.
Sorry.
So we continue southeast.
Yeah. Inara, with Francis's help, as you continue to navigate the dense dune sea, getting into the more wild, unsettled portions, you know that Merotiakin will be seeable or viewable in the far horizon at some point soon, as you continue traveling due south across this vast dune sea. Go ahead and roll me a survival check at advantage.
13 for the first roll. Wait, what is my survival? Oh, +0. So 13, and that's a 9. So 13.
Yeah. So the hot desert sun kind of blistering above at different points of your eye line, kind of hard to hold along the horizon. Not a lot of cloud coverage at all today. as you navigate this squadron of horses and the ones around you over this hill, a constant thump, 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 thump underfoot as your pack keeps rhythm with you. It's a beautiful day, just a little bit hot. But yeah, you're keeping a steady pace.
Inara will turn to Plato and be like, "Are you able to cast any spells that make the sounds of a storm?"
Fortunately, most of my spells, at least on the level of minor tricks, thaumaturgy, illusion, my spells in that department are more hurting and combat based.
A big black horse pulls in between the two of you while you were having your nerd talk. And she will say, "Might I remind everyone of the importance of the mission that we are currently on?"
Would you look at this? The wet is on the other arm.
What kind of phrase was that?
One I was trying out. Apparently, it did not work.
Put it away.
As the day becomes a little bit tamer, you all have crossed a good portion of the desert now. It's been about 3-4 hours. The heat does continue to beat down, just lessening a little bit as the day wanes on. You see two distinct paths forward now coming into view. On the right, you see in a cliffside, just the tip, the shining bright reflection of the sun beating down on the magnifying glass portion of a large, large telescope built into a large marble and sandstone structure that you cannot see at this angle. You can just see the glowing part of the telescope that signals the observatory that Rourke had mentioned. And then almost parallel to that and to the other direction, you have the large stone pillar extending into the sky.
Is the base / entrance fairly visible from a distance?
Yeah, you would assume based on where the telescope is that it's just on like you would kind of have to go around the chasm and then kind of up. It's like built right into the corner of the chasm. It's a pretty defendable position. There's kind of just the one, or you could go from the side too, but from that one angle you can't approach from the chasm because it's kind of built directly onto that side. The telescope extending directly up over the chasm towards the sky.
Sherrilyn has a hand at her eyebrow line, and she's squinting against the sun as she's gazing in the distance at this structure, the observatory. I think she's hoping that she will see another cart here, and she is looking for that in particular. She is trying to see. Someone had suggested that perhaps that carriage might have stopped at the observatory, so she is hoping that there might be one parked outside.
You definitely would have to get closer. Right now, you're at like the far point of both of these ways. You'd have to choose to kind of like go in that direction and get closer.
We did want to stop by the tower that told the truth. Do we want to do that and then turn back?
There is no time.
We may benefit from any information we gain from visiting the beacon. I understand your rush, but
You do not. Respectfully, my lady.
we all have people missing that we worry for.
You do not understand this urgency. She may be going to a place more dangerous. Let's stop her before she gets there.
She may be going to a place more dangerous, but I know for a fact that my mother is going to a place more dangerous. So perhaps if we can assuage some of our fears at the beacon of certainty, then we would be able to make haste towards your precious little oracle.
I don't know if she likes the way that you delivered that line. She, you can see her physically recoil at that. Her horse takes a couple steps backwards away from the cart.
So just so I can like, as was mentioned earlier, like this pillar, if you ask it a genuine question, it will give you the full truth, correct?
Yeah, the top of the tower will light up almost like a lighthouse if the answer to your question is in the affirmative. However, it cannot give you details or tell stories. So you must phrase your question carefully. But I'm pretty sure we could discover if the targets of our concern are alive and well.
Yes, I think she would ask sort of spontaneously. Whilst we were in the innkeeper's bar area, and I had consumed of the substance slip. How long would you say the slip had taken control of my consciousness?
Inara looks up for a second and then says, I don't believe you danced for longer than half an hour or so.
Yes, remember, the bartender, she said that the dose would not last long. So,
I offer a compromise then. If you could give me a half an hour.
to do what?
She's like dismounts off of her horse and is taking long strides towards the back of the carriage, which she opens.
I'm sorry. Wait a moment. You're saying we cannot go to the tower that will give us a short answer, and you're about to do what is it?
She says while she is in movement, unlatching this cart, stepping one foot up inside. Well, Mr. Ardavian, you'll remember my suggestion earlier that we divulge again truths to each other, but you are too sensitive.
All right, well, I'm going to drive the cart towards the pillar. You can, I guess, trip on the way there.
Are you behind her?
No, I'm in the cart.
You're in the cart. Okay. Yeah, she'll grab you by the shirt.
But,
What are your dimensions? How heavy are you?
I mean, I'm not heavy. I'm pretty scrawny. Why are you doing this?
Because she doesn't want you to move the cart.
Come on, it is a good compromise. You want to do the drugs, I'm assuming, and we want to go visit the tower. It's going to take you a period of time.
Firstly, I do not want to do the drugs. Secondly, I'm not sure that this will even give me the results that I am looking for, but it is the only shot that I have, so...
If we're going to talk about truth, we should maybe start out with you doing that slip on the right foot.
Is there a right foot to consume slip upon?
Yes, an honest one says that you don't need to take it, but you want to get the information, which we could probably figure out at the tower.
Fine. I shall give you this one for free, Mr. Ardavian. The last time I consumed a slip, I saw and spoke to Diana, and she is currently in a carriage on her way into the most dangerous parts of your people's territory.
What? How do you know that? Where is she headed?
I saw it in a vision. How else am I to describe something so ludicrous?
Yes, but like you said with the desert, what did you see? You said this is dangerous. Where was she headed?
Are you guys talking loud enough for Inara to hear from her?
Yes, we're talking loud
bench in
enough
the
because
front?
Sherrilyn has grabbed me by the shirt and I assume is yelling at me, having another
Yes.
violent confrontation when we could have probably just spoken about it.
I prefer passionate.
She opened up the door and she grabbed me by the shirt. And I think if I know correctly, the accordion door is still open from before. So Inara and Francis, I'm assuming, can just see that she's done this.
Inara looks through the accordion doors opening and seeing the quick escalation to violence. She hops through and slowly approaches, trying to talk some sense into Sherrilyn. She goes, you realize you are speaking of a hallucination you had on drugs as if it were fact.
Plato just points at Inara, like he does a little.
There was something mystical about it. You want details, then I shall share the details. She was in a carriage with a red dragonborn driving past this blue, craggy cliff. The sun was setting behind them. If I was to venture to guess, perhaps they were passing through a very near territory a mere day ago, if we are lucky.
All right, well, we can stay on her trail. Maybe we can ask the pillar which crossing she crossed at or something like that. I don't understand why
I cannot lose any time.
Well, look, we will keep going. We can try and find her, but this is, I don't think this is the way. He's looking down at where your hand is still actually grabbing the fabric of your shirt, because Plato is still wearing the shirt that you gave him.
It's a nice shirt.
Inara looks a little moved by how close to unraveling Sherrilyn is, and she hops out of the back of the carriage, knowing there's no point in trying to get her to unhand Plato right now. Can I tell from where we are how long it would take to reach the beacon on horseback?
Roll me a survival check.
Ooh, nice. That's a 16 on the die. I think my survival is +0.
6 hours? 5-6 hours? You could probably do it quicker than that. 4.5.
Is there anything that anyone needs to ask the magic tower?
It's something I would like to ask. It's been kind of killing me.
Okay, so that's one.
And honestly, it was a question posed by you, Inara. The Loxodon, Darshal, he seemed so certain that the letter he received back, it was from the Eloquent itself, the god.
Right.
But you said it could have just been anybody who wrote the letter back. He was driven solely by that. I just have to know whether or not it was truly the Eloquent that returned his message. It's not that important. Obviously, if we can't go there, that's fine. But it just seems so cruel. I would like to know.
Question is equally theoretical, so I cannot say it will afford us much now. A yes or no question doesn't give us much forward, so maybe there's a chance. Though each of us could ask which country Jaron Duthwaite was in, and that could narrow it down.
Narrow down what?
The
Where he is.
location.
Currently. He could easily move location by the time we would reach them.
I mean, that would be true about any locational knowledge we would receive here, including anything about Diana.
Precisely, which is why I am saying a yes or no question is insufficient. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Hardavian, I think I have to take this opportunity.
I'm not stopping you. You go ahead and do whatever you like. I don't even really know why you came back here. I don't have any slip. I lie.
Because she would lean down and her bag that she'd left in the cart is sitting in there, and you see her open the top of it, and there are 5 jars of slip in there. You think I would store all of this in my horse?
I mean, sort of. That's why we couldn't get into it. You got Inara on this cart. You think she doesn't paw through people's things?
I don't mind if she paws through my
What?
things.
I didn't say you'd steal anything. I just say you'd look.
She pauses to think about it, and honest to God doesn't know if you're off the mark or not, so she just moves on.
But that's fine. You go ahead and you do that. Will you let go of me now? This is a nice shirt you gave me.
That disarms her just enough for her to let go of the shirt.
Oh, goodness.
You make me quite angry, Mr. Ardavian.
I know. The only other person in my life I've made this angry is my sister.
I should like to meet her.
The one we're going towards?
Well, she's very reliable. Not unlike
So you just piss off the reliable, do you?
something about me.
Well, while Sherrilyn decides to do drugs in the back of the carriage,
Why does everyone say it like that?
Because that's what you're doing.
because that's exactly what's happening. Yep. Inara will take the opportunity to stay in the back of the carriage for a little bit in the shade, get a drink of water. I'm sure even for her, being in the sun for that long, while helping maneuver the cart is hot work. She'll check in on her sister.
Plato's gonna leave the cart. I don't want to be in here while Sherrilyn's on drugs. Last time she flailed around a bunch.
Was dancing, which I'm quite learned at.
Let's see what happens when there's no music.
Yeah, where are you, Francis?
Francis is still like at the front of the cart, like kind of like looking back inside the cart as like everything's going on.
You'll hear her say in a low voice, Sir Thon, if you wouldn't mind supervising, it'd be very much appreciated at this juncture.
Well, I appreciate you having the foresight of you doing this very questionable act.
It's very straightforward.
Very. I will make sure that you do not harm you or anyone around us, but just don't try and get used to this.
Thank you very much. So she will close the doors of the carriage and again point out a finger. Go nowhere for just a moment and take out one of the jars and consume it.
The whole jar?
She would guesstimate how much she had before to be like maybe a mouthful or something like that, and that's how much she would take.
Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I love that. Roll a D100 real quick.
Jesus.
I can't believe we're just letting her do drugs in the back of the cart. I'd love to be riding towards the pillar.
Are we riding towards the pillar?
Yeah, I mean, I won't be able to tell you otherwise.
She seemed like she was going to fully kill me if I did it.
That's a 55.
I don't think any of us wants to deal with her wrath if she comes to and we're not exactly where we stopped.
We've had a lot of arguments, and the closest that she's come to physical violence was when I told her she couldn't follow Diana right now. So I think I've gotten the point.
Yeah, I Sherrilyn, you kind of begin to sway back and forth a little bit as the heat becomes much more pleasant. It feels much more like sweat coming to you on a dance club. Like it's from exhilaration instead of from heat. as you begin to feel the slip enter your body and take over. A second or two passes as your breathing becomes manual for a little bit, as you kind of have to control it yourself.
God damn it.
Your vision doesn't fade away right away as Francis is kind of with you, as you're just kind of swaying and feeling just pleasant euphoria take over your body. What's everyone else doing?
Watching like a hawk.
Inara's going to start working on the contraption that she has envisioned to help Plato sleep.
Plato will help Mikhail water the horses and just sort of spend time with him and Rock, I guess. Have a philosophical conversation with Rock about how he would like to ask if the Warden's spyglass was real.
That is a very good question. I honestly don't know much about the Warden, but I know it is...
Well, there's always the other question we could ask about the Warden, so I'm sure someone has asked the lighthouse before, which is to say, are they really frozen in metal in the center of the sluice? You know, everyone wonders.
You should definitely ask that.
It's a matter of faith, you know. So I have been away from the Warden for a while.
Sherrilyn, you feel like a soft hand cover your eyes and kind of pull your head back for a moment as your vision fades, and you feel the soft touch of cloth over your eyes as your vision comes back in. You can't see anything. A white cloth blinds you. You hear crashing waves in the background. You hear a voice, the Hierophant's. The strike on Breg must be quick and timed with the ritual. We need to cause a distraction. The Emperor's revival must not be stopped. Even the Oracle has her role to play in this. You feel yourself nod.
Yes, she's not much she can do besides listening to the scene right now. So she would reach up and feel at the blindfold, trailing a hand down the side of her head, feeling her hair and down her shoulder.
Yeah. You're much shorter than you know Diana to be. The hair kind of tied back into a series of braids. You're currently the perspective of the current Oracle Savina, and you know yourself to be currently at the top of a lighthouse, feeling the wind kind of course through your hair as the Hierophant is in a heated discussion with somebody new, leading the Protectorate, unseen to you.
The voice, does this other person speak, or is it just the Hierophant speaking?
It's just the Hierophant, and I think it doesn't last very long. I think a few seconds pass or two. You kind of take in that it's the lighthouse. You hear somebody writing something down for a little bit. Like you hear the sounds of quill and ink as it seems some missives are being written. But you know yourself to be at the top of the lighthouse at the Hierophant's office. And you just are fully present in that moment before you feel again yourself moving, dancing. Francis, as this is happening, Sherrilyn's body starts like moving and grooving. Her body kind of imitates that of the dancer, as again the time dilation as your consciousness travels to and fro across the Watcher's domain here. You lose all sense of self and find yourself completely dancing in motion and in rhythm to a beat that doesn't exist, but nailing it perfectly with each footstep, Francis, as you watch Sherrilyn's body just take to the floor of the cart, filling it with this creative dance and expression. As Sherrilyn, your image clips back in. 20 minutes, 25 minutes has passed since you first asked Francis to watch you.
Yeah, as she comes to and like she starts seeing like the interior of the cart, she'll see that Francis had closed the accordion door as well as like the back latch, and is like sitting on the back latch like to make sure that she did not go like outside of the cart, that she is just like completely contained within this like enclosed space, and just making sure she doesn't hit herself, or like do something that just would be detrimental to her or the cart.
Trip sitting. What a king. Caring king.
Yes, she didn't measure out how much she was going to take this time. I would even say maybe because the vision was shorter, perhaps maybe she didn't take as much as she should have, and she makes a mental note of that. As she kind of starts getting some control of her faculties. She like feels her shoulders shifting. There's like sweat all over.
Your mouth is incredibly dry again. As again, this is the first thing you feel as you take back is just the driest mouth possible. A great desire to drink and exist in water.
Thankfully, there is a barrel of water. So, Francis, you see her grab the barrel with both hands and dunk her entire head in it.
I feel like as like she's going towards the bell, like clearly dehydrated, Francis will like stand up and like try to grab her by her like collar to stop her from dunking her head in.
How strong are you?
I have a +2.
Are you a strong guy? Yeah, you're a pretty strong guy. Okay. Yeah, fine. Her head will not reach the brim of the barrel, but she is panting and she glares at you out the side of her eyes and she says, Sir Thon.
Before she can finish her sentence, in his other hand, he has one of the water skins, like holding out to her. Is like, I know what you're feeling right now. Do not waste the best foot for us.
She grabs the water skin, tips it all the way vertical.
It's kind of hard to get a good grip as you feel like the slime on your hand. It's like a thicker version of your own sweat, kind of like oozing out of you as it like you kind of have to like really work hard to grip onto it.
Ooh, yucky. Okay. She tips the water skin all the way vertical and she chugs a few very large gulps of water. And as she is regaining control of her breath, she says, I didn't see Diana, but I saw something very serious that must be discussed right away. You need to find Plato.
All right, well, he'll hand her his water skin. And like you just sit here and wait, and I'll gather the rest of them, and we can talk about whatever you saw in this little vision.
Inara was still in the carriage with you, so hearing this, she'll stand and motion to Francis to like stay where he is and be like, "You should stay with her and keep an eye on her. I'll go get Plato," and she'll hop out the back of the cart.
Very well. And like as Anna is leaving, he will like very like gingerly like try and like sit Sherrilyn down.
Plato, since it has been a minute, is outside he's trying to he's done like a create water spell, his one create water spell sort of above him and Rourke and Orn as Inara comes out so that they get a little relief and sort of a water spray real quick, and then looks over at Inara and says, "Oh, is it done now?"
In a sense, she says, and motions to you to come forward.
Must have been enlightening. And Plato comes back over.
Whatever she saw relates to you this time.
He closes the distance and ducks his head back through the back door and says, "Oh, was it? What was it, Sherrilyn?"
She's sitting down with one arm probably still over the back of Francis's shoulders as he helped her sit down, and a water skin dangling in her hand. Still panting, she says, "You can believe whatever you want from me, Mr. Ardavian, but I'm here to tell you the Hierophant is going to attack Brig." Hi, I'm Beck, and I play Sherrilyn on the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to us play through our homebrew campaign of Dungeons & Dragons. If you're enjoying our adventures so far, please share our show with your friends and party members, and we'll catch you again in 2 weeks for episode 13.